SwiftUI gives us a special picker type called DatePicker that can be bound to a date property. Yes, Swift has a dedicated type for working with dates, and it's called, unsurprisingly, date. So to use it, you'd start with an @state property, such as this one. @state, private var, wake up, equals date. You can then bind that to a date picker, like this. Date picker, please enter a date. Selection, $wake up. Try running that in the simulator so you can see how it looks. You should see a spinning wheel with days and times, plus the please enter a date label on the left. Now you might think that label looks ugly and try replacing it with this, an empty string. But if you do that, you now have two problems. The date picker still makes space for a label even though it's empty, and now users with the screen reader active, more familiar to us as VoiceOver, won't have any idea what the date picker's for. There are two alternatives, both of which solve the problem. First, we can wrap the date picker in a form. Just like a regular picker, this changes the way SwiftUI renders the view. We don't get a new view being pushed onto a navigation view this time though. Instead, we get a single list row that folds out into a date picker when tapped. This looks really nice and combines the clean simplicity of forms with the familiar wheel-based UI of date pickers. Sadly, right now there are occasionally some glitches with the way these pickers are shown. We'll get onto that later. Rather than using forms, an alternative is to use the labels hidden modifier, like this, .labelsHidden. That still includes the original label, so screen readers can use it for VoiceOver. But now they aren't visible on screen anymore. The date picker will take up all horizontal space on the screen. Date pickers provide us with a couple of configuration options that control how they work. First, we can use displayed components to decide what kind of options users should see. If you don't provide this parameter, users see a day, hour, and minute. If you use .date, users see month, day, and year. If you use .hour and minute, users just see the hour and minute components. So we can select the precise time like this. Display components, .hour and minute. Finally, there's an in parameter that works just the same as with Stepper. We can provide it with a date range, and the date picker will ensure the user can't select beyond it. Now, we've been using ranges for a while now, and you're used to seeing things like 1.5 or 0.less than 10. But we can also use Swift dates with ranges. For example, I could say let now equals date. Give me a new date instance equal to the current time. Then, let tomorrow equals date dot adding time interval 86,400. That's 1 day in seconds from now. And finally, let range equals now tomorrow. Create a new range from those two values. That's really useful with DatePicker, but there's something even better. Swift lets us form one-sided ranges. Ranges where we specify either the start or the end, but not both, leaving Swift to infer the other side. For example, we could create a date picker like this. In new date ... That will allow all dates in the future, but none in the past. Read it as from the current date up to anything.